That belongs in a museum.
Assassin's Blade as well, that's potentially really big for it. It just represents 12 damage. Rogue these days cut out all the healing, so if you can get them on a clock, you know, one of their weaknesses is decks that are able to push fast, repetitive damage, and Assassin's Blade is a card that allows Rogue to do just that. So Pavel can grab himself a board here. He might be able to just leverage that Assassin's Blade and be able to skip the whole Malagos proceedings entirely.
Yeah, that's actually pretty huge. It kind of...
What just happened?
Oh.
Jason just played an Edwin on the board and then followed it up with the backstab. That is just pure mis-sequencing. Wanted to have the 4-4 on the board. Instead, he's just sat with a miserable 2-2, and one of his biggest resources is gone. That is a potentially huge...
Oh, but look at this hand. This hand just may as well say, draw your deck, because of the Gadget Zan on the board. Going to see the Azure Drake come down first, though. Not going to start off with a prep. It's 2 Eviscerates available, but even more damage. This is looking pretty scary for Pavel now.
Yep, still a Cold Blood left in the deck as well, I believe, on top of those 2 Eviscerates, but he's already used too much mana this turn to be able to force through Leroy. So that is 10 damage from Eviscerates, plus 12 from the Gadgetzan Auctioneer, making 22, but he is just going to send it all downtown right now if he pushes the second Cold Blood in as well.
Yeah, Pavel's going to be no doubt tracking these cards, needs to know what is available. And now he can't really play Cthulhu, because even if it clears the board, there's only, what, 1 card left in Jason's deck? Like, Leroy into Cold Blood plus weapon kills him if he doesn't armor up whilst playing Cthulhu.
So this is now purely a survival game from Pavel's perspective. He knows the entire deck is in the hand, and he knows what those cards are. So all he needs to do is be able to beat minion presence and the small amount of remaining damage, which is Leroy and Cold Blood in terms of damage from hand. So this is the play I like.
Yeah.
Brawl the board. Whichever minion lives, you have the shield slam to then take care of it. You're at 16 life. You cannot die based on your opponent's deck.
Yeah, and you don't, you know, Gorehowl might have been an attractive option to get it equipped, but you do not want to take the damage, because as you said, all Pavel needs to do is to survive. This Rogue will run out of burn, and the game will be Pavel's if he can outlast JasonZhou. And he does have a reasonable way to do it, as long as he can fend off these minions and guarantee the out of range. Whoa!
Oh boy, that's damage. That is damage that Pavel cannot have been accounting for. With the Drake in hand still, the Alex Straza champion can come down and push another 3. That is such a big deal for JasonZhou right now.
Yeah, Swashbuckler is just causing havoc in this series so far. Sparring partner looks like it's going to be a consideration for JasonZhou over the dagger up, just to make the board as awkward as possible. But going wide on the board means that that second brawl is going to be looking pretty tasty right about now.
It picks up the execute, but no way to activate it in terms of being able to clear up the last minion that would survive a brawl. Just the single 4/6 taunt that won't regenerate. So if you put that into play, he saw the second sap get burned, which means that JasonZhou would have to go through that the hard way. But it does end up being the brawl. If Tomb Pillager lives, this game is over. Okay. Pavel lives to fight another day.
JasonZhou has his work cut out for him now. He still has the Alex Straza champion, so the brawl wasn't a complete disaster for him. If Swashbuckler lived, then that is a horrible just as a 1-1. Not going to push through the damage needed at all.
Yeah, so magically as well right now, he is at 12, so JasonZhou needs to push 1 this turn to make sure he's playing around Cthulhu, because if he pushes the 1, he puts his opponent to 11, which means if his opponent plays Cthulhu, he then has Leroy Cold Blood's second dagger hit to deal that 11 damage. So I actually feel like the dagger hit would be pretty important in this situation, but Jason has probably decided he cannot beat Cthulhu this game and just isn't considering it in his options.
Yeah, and it looks like... Cthulhu kind of has to be the option here. Everything else just isn't good enough, because Pavel knows exactly what JasonZhou's win condition is going to be.
He's checking the minions. That's a full clear. And what did I say? He is 1 damage out of range right now. Leroy Cold Blood is 10. Dagger is 11. He has no game against this Cthulhu. JasonZhou, China's last hope, looks like he's going down here, and it is the Russian comeback kid. Is going to be our first finalist at the 2016 World Championship.
Absolutely amazing series, some incredible moments, I can't not believe it.